I just if as far as the defensive tackle group, at least going forward, you go, we're fine. Maybe really, really good.
But if the linebackers could have a pulse, like we could blitz you guys. You guys could feel some holes.
The guys you gave a B, you're supposed to do that for them. You're supposed to make their life easy.
True. They make the life of the linebackers. These linebackers didn't choose right home. We talked about this. It ain't the other way around.
Your job is to make
line is make the linebacker life easier, not the other way around. If you had a linebacker that can blitz the quarterback, that can help get some pass rush, if they blitz the linebackers more, or the linebackers can fill holes and stop the run, we may be talking about a whole different thing for the defense. But the back end was so bad, it brought down the play of the defensive tackles.
Well, we just saw
because the defensive tackles consistently graded well. They graded higher than the C. Okay, if you look at they consistently week in and week out, they graded well. So what was bleeding them? What was bleeding down the defense? It wasn't defensive tackle play. So to say it's wrong to give defensive tackles a B, how?
I just think that's too high. Like, I think pretending that they did a great job is disingenuous.
Didn't say great. Did I say great?
No.
So you don't put words in my mouth.
Well, what does high mean? You said they graded high. They graded high.
I said a B. I said I gave them a B. I said the defensive tackles got a B. Didn't I say that?
You did.
Okay.
And I said that's too high.
I'm just saying that if you look at, by all accounts, because we always talk about, K9 is the 59th ranked linebacker in PFL, right? We use this ranking. Well,
don't use those rankings.
Okay, that's fine. We've used it to bash
J.J.
K9.
Watt and I demand you don't use those.
We used it to bash K9, okay? So
I don't use it to bash K9. I tell you why he wasn't good.
Okay, I understand that.
Need his
But if you look at the grades for the defensive tackles consistently all season, they've been very high.
Yeah,
they've been among the best. Even before Quentin Williams, you look at Kenny Clark's week in and week out grades, they've been high. So what is bleeding? It ain't been their play that bled that defense.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. They were the best part of the defense. I just don't want to pretend that they were good. Like, they were the best. I'm not saying they were Reggie White. I'm not saying they were doing that. I'm not even coming there. Well, if you said that, I'd be so offended. I would be so offended.
I'm not saying. Did they accuse you of that? Say somebody was Reggie White when they got here? Kenny Clark? Did they call you that?
I think Quentin was good. I think Osa and Kenny were okay. I think Solomon Thomas was okay. But I do think that man for man, that's part of the reason that I'm glad you're getting a new defensive coordinator, is because I don't think anybody played as well or better than we think they are. Osa's supposed to be a better player than what he put on tape this year. I think Kenny's supposed to be a better player than what he put on tape this year. And those will be your guys next year. And I do think you can feel really good about it. I feel really good about the defensive line group going into next year.
I don't have it out for Osa, and I want to say that respectfully, because I don't.
As I get ready to kill him.
As I get ready to.
I don't want
to. I don't have it. It ain't that personal, dog. But with all due respect, it ain't that personal. But let's get personal.
Just watch your words. I like Osa. That's not your block.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I think we saw exactly what Osa is.
What is that?
What he was this year.
I mean, he wasn't even the good pass rusher that we're used to.
I think Osa, and he's not the only one, among others, that benefited from that name that we shall not name. And when you don't have that, guy that requires the complete attention of the offensive line and the calls and the shifts and everything, I think we saw.
Yeah.
We think we saw who he was. And I'm not saying that's a bad player, but I think we're looking for something greater from Osa, and I think that was attached to someone else. I think the greater of him was attached to the play and greatness of someone else. Now, unless you decide to bring one of those players back in, I think what you saw with Osa is who Osa is.
I do
I'm Captain Messi.
You are Captain Messi. I do like that Jerry's like, you can't give too much money to one player, but then he'll He'll give $20 million to the third D tackle while we're really pinching our pennies here. But yeah, so the group that has to drastically improve is the defensive ends, the edges, whatever you want to call them. And Jadeveon Clowney's a free agent. Donovan Ezeraku will be here, and I'm very confident if he's your third best guy. I'm probably okay if he's your second best guy, depending on how great your first best guy is. But even if it's like, if they bring Clowney back and Ezeraku, and that's your two best, I still think you're going to be bad at that spot. There has to be more than that. And we may not even have Clowney back. He might have a real market. And when people have a real market, Cowboys don't tend to play in that.
Yeah.
And so I will give you, I do have my top 5. I like to back end these things with my top. And there's nobody else basically on the roster at defensive end, right? Everybody else is gone.
Everybody's gone. Yeah.
Everybody's gone.
Fowler, Sam.
Right now your team is Ezeraku. That's
James Houston free agent too.
Right. Ezeraku is your defensive end.
Clowney's a free agent.
And so here's my top 5 going into the draft is the Cowboys will have the 12th pick and the 20th pick. And just fair warning, 1 and 2 are going to go back and forth. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm stuck. David Bailey at Texas Tech is the better pass rusher of these top 2 guys. Reuben Bain has pass rush ability and is an absolute monster in the run game, and David Bailey is not that, although he is improved over the course of the year, and he's technically big enough that maybe he could be a solid run defender. But I think this team desperately needs somebody that can do, we showed it earlier, the quick pressure. You want quick pressure? You want David Bailey. That dude is the offensive tackle. Good luck. Yeah. If it's 3rd and 7, I own you. Whereas Reuben Bain's like, I might run through your throat. Yeah. I like Bain better as a complete player. I like Bailey better as a pass rusher.
How big is Bailey?
He's probably 250. 6'3", 6'4", 250, something like that. And Bain's like 275, and he's shorter.
If you want the dynamics of your defensive mentality to change, you want Reuben Bain.
Yeah. Oh, Bain's he's a monster.
Like if you want that thing to change,
he's a monster.
You want Reuben Bain.
And then Keldrick Falk is a guy that I don't even think I really like for the Cowboys. He's at Auburn, and he's like 6'5", 285, and he's going to be the guy where when you talk about draft stuff, you can talk about production, you can talk about the player, and you can talk about the tools. He's 6'5", 285, monster against the run game, and despite the physical gifts he has, was never a good pass rusher in college. But teams are going to look at it and be like, how can that not rush the passer? Look at the way he moves and the way he's built. That should be a pass rusher. And so he will go high despite the fact that he's never been a good pass rusher yet.
Because everybody ain't Myles Garrett.
Right.
He's built like Myles Garrett.
Right.
And everybody don't turn out to be Myles Garrett. Who's the kid that's from Miami that's been in 100 teams that was in Jacksonville this year? The big guy. Not Jack. He was in Arizona this year, but he was at Atlanta last year.
Calais Campbell.
Played for 100 years.
Was he ever the best at what he was? But he's just a big mofo that can play and perform.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that, like he was never the best at anything.
Right.
But he's a big mofo.
Yeah.
And he played.
And the other 2 names that I had on my top 5, just real quick, number 4 was Cassius Howell, the Texas A&M pass rusher, and he's another version, kind of a little smaller version of the David Bailey lane, where if the right tackle and the tight end decide they're blocking Cassius Howell on a run play, he's going to the 7th row. But if it's 3rd and 8 and he turns the corner, that first step, the bend, the explosiveness, if you want to rush the passer, you want Cassius Howell. And number 5 is Akeem Messidor, the other Miami defensive end, who is 6'5",
he's going to be really good.
He is, and he's going to help today.
Yeah. He's not going to be a superstar. He's going to be a 10-year player.
Yeah.
And in fact, he's going to be like a guy maybe that I'm talking about next in KBBU and a guy like Danielle Hunter.
What hurts him is he'll be a 25-year-old rookie. And you're like, how are you – like you just started kind of dominating at the age of 24? I got dudes who are 20 that are dominating. And so people are going to gravitate to that more. But the player is very good.